What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be comparing the Canik MC9 to the Smith & Wesson CSX. Now, this is a comparison you haven't seen online probably, and I thought it was a very good comparison because I have experience with both these firearms, and they're both great carry options, and they're both around the same exact price. Now, before we get started, please hit the like button. Drop something in the comments. It all helps with the algorithms. It all helps this channel grow. And then when this channel grows, I can get more stuff, more gear, and I can test more products for you guys and bring it back to you, hopefully helping you save money in the future. Now, with Smith & Wesson CSX, this firearm was absolutely destroyed on the internet when it came out. Every reviewer hated on it, talked down on it, and a lot of their malfunctions they were having, if you watch them shooting, were caused by them hitting the slide release, and it was locking up that slide. Me, I haven't had a single issue with this thing. This thing just runs flawlessly, and it is one of my best shooting Micro 9s, if not the best shooting Micro 9. It has the best trigger. It has 10 out of 10 ergonomics. If you've never grabbed a CSX with the larger palm swell, 10 out of 10 ergonomics, especially for a micro. 12+1 setup right now. Hammer fired, you do have a safety for if you want to run it cocked and locked, but this thing is a beast. I can mag dump 12+1 in 2 seconds. Don't believe me? I have a video up on my channel. Accurately, 12+1 in 2 seconds. Awesome, awesome firearm. Now, the Canik MC9 obviously has a lot of hype behind it, and is a great shooting firearm itself. It just is what it is. It is a good, solid, quality firearm. Now, as we all know, there's been some issues that people have been saying they've been having, especially at like 500 plus rounds is when they start to have it. So far, I haven't had it, but I haven't made it over 600, 700, 800 rounds where most people are having them. I'm at about 550 right now, so we'll get there within the next week. But an awesome everyday carry option. Let's get into the features of the CSX. Front and rear serrations has this cool texturing right here. I don't know if it helps anyone, but it does help line up your sights. I don't know if that's what it's there for, but seeing those lines or those little, engravings, it actually does help you line up your sights at the range. You'd be surprised because when your firearm flicks back and you see those lines, very easy to line up to the eyes. Absolutely love it. 3-dot metal sights. Like I said, hammer fired, a steel frame, which is different because this thing is meant to take a beating. Has awesome Smith & Wesson finish, that awesome defensive trigger, which is really nice. People complain about the trigger, but the reset is so short, you don't even need to shoot the reset. You just let your finger off just a little bit, and then you're shooting. Most people are like, oh, it feels like there's 2 resets. Well, then just take your finger off more and let it come to your finger. It's such a short trigger. I mean, that's fully engaged. It's not. This isn't a 1911, a full size, or a staccato or anything. This is a carry gun. They're not trying to give you the lightest trigger, lightest single action trigger in the world. They're trying to give you a trigger that's going to be good in a self-defense encounter where you can still get fast shots off, but you're not going to accidentally let a round go under tension and stress and all that. So I absolutely love this thing. They come with interchangeable backstraps. But one of my favorite things about the firearms overall, not just the ergonomics, but where your hand sits. Your hand sits directly below that slide, and it helps you manage that recoil. This firearm is fast, and there is zero recoil compared to other stuff. People think the Hellcat is snappy. If that's the case, try the CSX. You will love this thing. Everyone I've ever suggested it to has gone out and came back to me and said, this is an amazing firearm, and I'm honestly passionate about the CSX. It's just a smooth shooter, a good overall shooter, and like I said, probably one of the most quality Micro 9s out there. You just feel the quality in it. And I don't care about other people's reviews. I don't care about other YouTubers' reactions. I do take them. I say, okay, this is what I know. People are having issues, or this is the issue, or whatever the case may be. But then I go and shoot mine. And then once mine is solid and flawless, all I can do is say it's a great firearm. Canik MC9, 12+1 in this setup, comes with a rail, which the CSX doesn't. The finish isn't very good. It's a budget finish, but it is what it is. It's fine. It's enough. This is optics ready, which I don't know if they make an optics ready CSX. I don't think they do. But the sights are metal, good sights. I really like them. A U-notch rear with a white dot front sight, no night sights or anything like that. But, it is what it is. Has really good texturing on it. I do like the texturing on the Canik. I think it's just enough. It's not aggressive, but it's just enough. It takes down like a Glock. All the controls work pretty well except for the mag release. I'm still having a little sticking. Interchangeable back straps, but the main thing is the trigger. Let's get into the triggers of these two, right? And then we'll do a size comparison. CSX, ready? Woo! That thing is crisp. I love the CSX trigger. Reset. You're going to say, oh, it's a long reset for 1911. Guys, the trigger is so easy to just go. You literally just remove your finger. Whereas a normal firearm, right, you're shooting to reset. Literally, you can just go like this. I mean, it's a good trigger. I don't care what people say. Go shoot it for yourself. Oh, sorry. Forgot to do the Canik trigger. I mean, it's just so crisp. It's such a good trigger on the Canik. I really do like the Canik trigger. One thing that I don't like, though, is how small the space is. Look at my finger and look at that space. I'm not a big fan of that. I like having a larger trigger guard, but it is what it is. It is a carry gun. And this is going into my rotation once I pass a certain milestone for rounds. But, I mean, I absolutely love this firearm. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people ask me, which one would you take? Which one would you personally have if you can only have one? I just say flip a coin to a lot of these. But in this case, honestly, I'm going CSX. So that's 12+1 for both setups. The CSX is wider in the grip. They're about the same width in slide. Overall length of the firearm, the CSX is longer with that, or about the same size with that beaver tail. But if you're going slide to slide, that Canik sticks out a lot more. But you're not going to be printing with this. You're going to be printing with the grip. So the beaver tail is not the biggest issue in the world. And then with the CSX looks just a hint wider. So it is what it is. It's not enough to where it affect your carrying or anything like that. I just think this firearm got so much hate and not really given a fair chance right out of the box. Now, what some people were hoping for is a Generation 2 of this, where they make some improvements, but I'm perfectly fine with my Gen 1. It's ran flawlessly. Thousands of rounds through this thing, not a single hiccup, not a single issue. It eats everything. The only thing is there's not a lot of aftermarket support for it. That's the only thing, holster-wise and stuff like that, whereas the Canik MC9 has a ton of holster options and stuff like that. So it's your call, and if you wanted to pick up a holster for your Canik MC9, Blacksmith Tactical, code SPN for 10% off. You can get an awesome holster like this. Thing is absolutely great. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.